Thanks to the Forum 6 Tamworth and Wagga Wagga and the Odeon 5 Orange. It's the Talking Flickster podcast with JT and Grant Lee.
Yes, another Talkin' Flickster podcast. We send one of our fans off to see a movie and come on the show and give us a bit of info about it. JT here. Mr. Lee is here as well. Mr. Lee, stop looking at your phone.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just had work texting me, so I thought I'd better just text them back very quickly.
Well, that'll be a carton there, Mr. Lee. Or, well, you know what? I'll be nice. I'll make it a six-pack.
Oh, thank you, because that's all I can afford. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, right. Top shelf for you. But yes, welcome on board to the show. Now, Mr. Lee, this week it's not a Grant movie. This one, but it is.
No.
It is a vampire tale set back in 1932. It is Sinners. Ryan Coogler on this one, amazing director. He's been behind some great films. What's your take on this? What do you have seen the trailer though?
I have seen the trailer, and I have been told a few things about the movie. And even though it has got vampires in it, and I'm not a big vampire person, as you would know, I think I'd still go and see it. And I really do like Michael B. Jordan. And I think he's a great actor. And for him to be playing twin brothers in the movie, I think that's pretty cool on how he does that. So I'd be interested in seeing that.
This is definitely a freaky type of film. Looks amazing. It is Sinners, and we're going to review it after this. Let's have a listen.
I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful. I will. With all the things that I've seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic. Till now. Hey, get back inside.
Let me in, man. Some weird shit going on out here.
You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
That is Sinners. Let's check out the film with our Talkin' Flickster for this week. It is Danny. He's back. G'day, Danny. How you going, man?
I'm good, thanks.
Welcome back to Talkin' Flicks. Now, Danny, it's a bit creepy, this one. It's a bit spooky. Last time we had you on Talkin' Flicks was for Conclave, which was last year, wasn't it, that we had you on? I'm pretty sure it was back towards the end of last year, Mr. Lee.
Was it December, January? I think it came out. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when we had you on, when we spoke about what would happen if the Pope happened to pass away, and look what happened this week. It's, and we've got you on. So how's that for an omen?
Well, as soon as I saw the news, that was the first thing I thought of. I thought the last time we spoke, we actually were reviewing the movie Conclave, and we're about to go into a real conclave. So, yeah. Let's hope that this is not an omen for me discovering that there are real vampires in the world.
Well, we're about to find out, aren't we?
Yes, and that's what scares me. I hope there is no vampires. And I must say, while we are talking about Pope Francis, it is very sad news that he has passed away, and especially that he has done so much great work in his time that he was Pope. And I just hope that the Pope that does take over carries on his work, because I know he put in a lot of Cardinals into that. And the exciting thing about it is a lot of people know what's going to happen and how this all will now operate because of the movie Conclave. So it was good.
Yeah.
Well, it is a bit of a change of pace, though, when you've got Conclave versus Sinners, a vampire movie. What did you think, Danny? Because you went along to see this. What were your thoughts? Did you like it?
Yeah, I was very keen for it. I'm a person who loves and gets intrigued by the trailer, and absolutely, the trailer really sells this film. They obviously leave a lot out of the film so that there's not a lot of spoilers in the trailer, and I really like that about the film. When you go ahead and watch it, it's not spoilt by the trailer. So but it really does give you a great insight into what the film's going to be about. And and I am a vampire movie fan. I've seen a fair few over the times.
Do you know that Michael B. Jordan actually played 2 roles in the movie?
Yes, and it was really interesting how they do it. Look, the technology has come so far. I mean, I remember The Parent Trap years ago, and then you had The Nutty Professor who used it. You can't compare how they've done Sinners with regards to having the actor play 2 roles. It really is pretty seamless, I think, and it really is part of the attraction to the film, is to see one actor play 2 roles side by side.
Well, let's talk about Michael B. Jordan. What did you think of his performance? And he really makes the film.
Absolutely. Look, he is a leading man, and I really think that he carries films very well. And look, him teaming up with Ryan Coogler in a fair few films really does show that they have a real trust in each other's work, and the way that they work together really is something that is becoming sort of they're both known for, is that as a director, he finds films that really do pair up with the actor. Yeah.
Which is good, because Jordan was actually cast very first off back in January 2024. So he was the first one to get the okay to be in the movie, and then they cast everybody else in the movie, which is rare. So did the movie live up to your expectations? Because you were saying that, you loved the trailer. Did it do what you thought it was going to be?
Absolutely. Like, what I loved about it is it's a real proper storytelling film, and a lot of people have been talking about it like it has 2 halves. In the beginning, you have a lot of backstory of the characters, why they've returned home, and all of those interesting things that sometimes in just straight out gore vampire films, it just starts from the moment you get on screen. This sort of has a bit more of a way of telling a story that's attached to the characters. It allows you to get to know each person that's in the film. They're not just there as background. It's not Michael B. It's an ensemble piece, and that's very much the first part. Is you get backstories of each of the characters, how they cross over, and then by the time it comes into the thriller part of it, you really have a sense of the characters, and I love that. I really do love that. I think it's better to have a film that is fully realised than from start to finish be a vampire film, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Denny, I want to know about this musical element to the film. There's been talk of, there's a lot of music throughout the film. Do you see that? Like, is that what's actually happening?
Absolutely. So it's very much rooted in the blues movement of film and music. So you do get some historical connections between the movie and blues, and it's really rooted in that in the beginning. In the first part of the film, the movie does tell a story through music, and there's a really exciting scene that when you see it, really talks to historically where blues has moved into. And I think it's something that really Ryan Coogler has intentionally done so that the viewer it's a more of an experience that tells story of time as well as the connection to the music of the 30s.
There you go, because it was the twin brothers went to Chicago. They were working with Al Capone. Do you actually see Al Capone in the background or anything like that?
Not really. The mystery in the film is where they've come from and why they've come back. So it's sort of, without giving anything away, it's more about them coming home and what that means for the characters that they reintroduce into, because they had been gone for a certain amount of time, and they have a past that they've gone back to.
Now,
but no Al Capone, which is a shame. But yeah.
Now, this film, Danny, it is an MA-15 plus. There's a lot of violence, and there's blood and gore and things like that. How does that tie into the movie? Like, what kind of scenes are we seeing here? Like, it is a vampire film, but in some vampire films you don't see that kind of blood and gore.
Well, see, he's delivered on that too. Like, he's definitely stayed true to the genre of what vampire movies, what it takes to kill them, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and it definitely doesn't stray away from a traditional vampire film when that side of it kicks in. And I really think that's really great, is that when you pay homage to that genre, that you're actually doing it the way most audiences will understand it to be. It's so you will have the stakes through the heart, you will have lots of blood, you will have they have to be invited into the house or you have those elements in the vampire film. And absolutely, there is a lot of bloodletting in the film. He hasn't sugar-coated it. The makeup is very realistic looking, and the blood is definitely there.
Oh, gee. Now, tell me, other than Michael B. Jordan, did anyone else's performance really stand out to you?
Look, I really loved Haley Steinfeld, and Delroy Lindo are the two probably big names that you'll remember. And look, this is a throwback with Haley Steinfeld's Oscar-nominated performance years ago. She's gone on to do a few action films and a few other films, but this really is a statement that takes you back to where she started as the young person in that beautiful film that she was, we got a lot of Oscar buzz and nominations. She's really good. And Delroy Lindo is somebody that I really enjoy, and in this movie he's the biggest link to your blues and roots, and he really does give you some historical grounding of what blues music really is and what it means to the 1930s and the culture.
Danny, surely because there is a bit of this musical element to the film, surely Haley would be singing at some point.
I didn't see her sing.
Really?
I mean, look, I haven't seen the soundtrack, but it probably was something that she probably wanted to maybe separate from and remind people she's not just a singer, she's an actor, and she has those chops. But also, it really is a cultural film. So being that she's not necessarily from that culture, it probably would have been a misstep to have her singing the blues, if that makes,
Well, there you go. So were there any what just happened moments in the movie? Anything that really stood out and you went, wow, did that just really happen?
Yeah, look, there's moments in there where, you see, because he's playing two people, there's a real tell of when he plays Smoke and when he plays the other character, because Smoke actually
Stacks.
Yes, that's right. Stacks the other one. They wear different hats, but sometimes it's done to confuse you in a way, like until they start talking because the hat's not on, you're like, which one is it? And you're not sure. And then all of a sudden that character might light up a smoke, which indicates that it's Smoke. And then the other one, the character that he's opposing, will say Stack. But yeah, absolutely. Once the vampires are in the film, and somebody leaves a room, you're going to wonder whether they come back as a vampire or as themselves. And it's intelligently done, because I don't know if I can give it away, but there is a tell with regard to a food item that either you are a vampire or you're human. Is that giving it away too much?
No, that's very intriguing. Like, that would make me want to go watch it. That's good. I like that. That sounds very... Yeah. You've hooked me into watching it. There you go.
Yeah, look, it's not going to be gore from start to finish, and for some people, that's going to be a really great thing, because sometimes you don't get to know the characters before they start to be the bloodletting. So I really think this is where this will separate them from other films, and it's really showcased filmmaking in a really good way, that genre films like vampires aren't just about blood and gore.
Now, if you...
Oh, we do love it.
Well, we do. We love the blood and gore, especially in a vampire movie, except Grant is shaking his head. Now,
Yes,
if you would...
I am shaking my head.
If you were to watch the movie for a second time, Danny, do you think you get a different result?
I think when you go in the second time, you know that there's the element of the music and the importance it plays and the historical content. Plus, with the vampire stuff, you sort of feel like, you know, it is very satisfying. But the shift is fairly quick when it happens. And I think the second time around, you'd be able to enjoy looking at side parts to the film where normally you'd be just looking at the actor in front of you, but there's so much background action in this film and the musical content that you'd probably want to do a little bit more research and a bit more digging. And I think that's the beauty of a film like this, is it's wanting to impart some history that you may not have known about, and then you take that away. Plus, I missed it the first time around, but there are two apparently end credit scenes that really make me want to go back and see it now, because I completely missed it.
Oh, you left?
Well, I didn't know that this film. I didn't know this film would have. I know. And
Danny.
I know. I let myself down.
We're going to put you in the naughty corner. That's like what you do.
I did think that was only exclusive to Marvel films. I was thinking that. I don't know.
Because I thought you stayed right to the end of all movies anyway. I didn't know that you... oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I made the biggest mistake. Yeah. I love the twist in the end, because it may even indicate the idea of whether this is a continuing story or not. I don't know, because I don't know what these scenes are. I have to go back and watch them.
Don't worry, Denny, I'm the same. I like to beat everyone out of the cinema, get to the car park nice and quickly. So I do understand. Makes a lot of sense. So do you think you'll go back to see it just for those end credits? Can we see you doing that?
Oh, I have done that before. I've used family members who haven't seen a film to go back and, absolutely. And I've got friends who are movie buddies, and they do sometimes will go, well, if you liked it, Denny, then I'll come and see it with you. So I have often gone to see a film, especially when I've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed Sinners. I would go and see this again for sure.
Well, don't worry, Danny. I'll sneak you in, mate. I know someone who works at the 4 and 6. He's in management. So leave it with me. I'll sort you out. Yes. But so overall, if you've got some this weekend, people are thinking about going and seeing it. If you love a good horror movie, this is the one you want to go and check out.
Yeah, look, and Rotten Tomatoes never usually get it wrong. So
No.
it's in the 90s, this film, and it's been called one of the best films already this year. So and look, sometimes they throw that around before a movie comes out, hoping that will stick. This has come from after the movie's released and the audience has started to see it. The reviews are, 97% positive. So I think that's a testament not just to me backing that up and saying that I believe it is true, like it's other audiences. It's not just pre-hype, if that makes sense. It really does deliver.
And with so many horror films out at the moment, we're only in April, and already we've had about 3,000 of them. With so many horror movies that are around, it's so important to have a movie that really stands out, isn't it?
Yeah, horror genre itself sometimes can be very much set to a formula, and that is from beginning to end, from the moment the first phone call to the last stab at the end. They're very very typical in the way that they are structured. Sinners doesn't necessarily follow that. It's a storytelling film that actually has horror as part of its storytelling. That's as simple as I could put it.
Which is really interesting. And when you were saying that Rotten Tomatoes, it actually started with 100%
yes
rating, and then it has dropped down a little bit because not
only
all
to
movies
97
appeal to everyone.
Yeah,
which is
right.
Still pretty good. Yeah. So now I'm going to ask JT to open the freezer.
Hold on. There we go, Mr. Lee.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Thank you for handing me those 5 chopped tops. I couldn't bend over to get them today.
It's all back. I'll run it for you later, okay?
Danny, I'm going to give you 5 chop tops. So out of 5, how many chop tops do you give Sinners, please?
A solid 4. 4 choc tops for sure. It's definitely going to satisfy that group of people.
That's a good.
Wow.
That's a great score. That is.
Yeah.
That is.
That's really good. So if you just summarize it, what did it for you? What made it a 4?
It's a storytelling film, which I really love. I do love the way that they have made sure that they've stayed true to the genre of vampires. I think they haven't done a misstep there. But I really want to say that doing the extra storytelling and giving us time to develop a knowledge of who these characters are really is the reason why it's in its genre, it really is different. And that's what I love about films, that if I go and see a horror film, it's got to have horror in it, but I want to see something different. I don't want to see the beginning to end the same. And Sinners has really delivered on that, and that's probably why.
Well, as long as they don't, go upstairs instead of running out the front door or something like that, making those silly horror movie mistakes, then you're fine, Denny.
I think so, yeah. No, we don't want the mistakes. And I think formulas are meant to be broken anyway. And I think that's where cinema really does shine, is when it's different, when there's a different point of view.
Yeah, which is good. Now, Danny, next week our Talking Flickster is off to see The Accountant 2 with Ben Affleck. What's your question for them?
I really want to know, did this film really need a sequel? Because it was so good, have they recreated the what's the words? I would really like to know if it was good as the first one, and whether it really did require a sequel. I think sometimes we get some really great films and they can be ruined by a sequel, but sometimes a sequel can match the original film. So I want to know, did it match the original film? Is that a good question?
Yeah.
I think it's important to know.
Well, if the trailer's anything to
do.
go by, it looks really good.
I love the first one.
Yeah, I do too. And he's actually got his brother in to help him in with this second one. So that's going to be interesting to see how that comes about. So, yeah. No, very good question. Danny, thank you so much for joining us on Talking Flicks today. I really appreciate it. And we hope to have you back on soon. Hopefully not when there's a conclave on.
No.
Or we might be talking about vampires next time.
Who knows? Anything's possible.
But thank you. Yeah, think positive.
No, I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now, before we go, Jay, have you got some words of wisdom, please?
Oh, hold on. No, do you want to do the sell Miss Lee? Now, if you want to be a Talking Flickster, all over the shop.
I forget about that.
Because you don't come to rehearsals. This is what happens. You botch it up every time. We were nearly there. We only had like 60 seconds to go, and you just gone and screwed it. If you want to be a Talking Flickster, get to 406.com.au or audio5.com.au, and just like Danny, you could come on the show and give us your review and help me carve up Mr. Lee. And you know what? We should do, Mr. Lee? We should throw the positive thought out to our Talking Flicksters, I reckon, going forward. What do you think?
Oh,
they can bring a positive thought to the table. Yeah, so I don't have to do it every week because, it's a lot of work, Mr. Lee, doing all this heavy lifting. Okay, should I do? Do you want one? Because you did ask.
Yes,
didn't you?
please.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Don't sit down and wait for the opportunities to come. Get up and make them. You wouldn't wait for something to come to you, would you? You'd go out there and
I
face
don't.
it. Yeah.
I get up and make that happen. I'm that type of person. But I just don't go to rehearsals, so sorry.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Well, I'm not questioning.
Not every week.
I'm not questioning your work ethic at all, Mr. Lee. Well, I kind of am. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Are you going to come on Friday? Because our normal podcast back Friday midday. Are you going to be there for that?
Oh, look, I'll try. I might just turn up 5 seconds before we go on air. So,
nothing's new there. Now, what's on Friday's show? Can you give us, because you've been very good with the hooks the last couple of weeks.
I certainly
have. You worked out what we're doing?
Yeah, I have actually got a few little things. Danny did say something about Marvel, and we have got some news about Marvel. and Phase 5. And we've also got some news about another horror movie that's opening up on Thursday, tomorrow.
Wouldn't be talking flicks without more news on horror films. So we'll catch you Friday midday. Mr. Lee, have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you, you too. Bye for now.
Bye.
Want more Talking Flicks? Get your fix with every episode anywhere, anytime. Just search Talkin' Flicks on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, forum6.com.au or odeon5.com.au. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies.